What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Stocks to Watch. And I think the pre-budget rally is about to begin. I think in the last episode, I spoke about that this is a trap, meaning that bulls are still strong. I think bears just got a taste of some bearishness or some weakness in the markets. But I think a lot of stocks, I think I went through over 2,000 stocks today for the last, I think, 2.5 or 3 hours. And what I can see is there is a lot of strength. I think there are a lot of FNO stocks coming into the watch list. I have a total of about I think 40 stocks in the list, which is probably after like 30 odd days, I've got so many stocks on the watch list. So, according to me, I think the markets are extremely strong. And again, it's a stock specific market. Nifty, Bank Nifty, I'm not really that interested. Bank Nifty, yes, I think PSU banks are just coming into shape. And maybe a little bit from private banks is also something to be seen. All in all, I think there's going to be a fantastic week ahead. Along with that, I think the budget's about to come, and there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of euphoria regarding that. And we are expecting some tax cuts, which is again going to be very positive for the markets. So all in all, I think we've got a very, very fantastic week ahead. So let's get started. But before I get started, please click on the subscribe button. Hit that like button if you like the efforts that me and my team, give out to get this watch list in front of you. And if you appreciate towards the end, do drop in a comment because it helps us reach out to more people. So let's get started. And the first stock on the list is Intense Technologies. Now, very, very good base. It's a small cap name. Very nice base, volume dry up. Perfect setup that I really like. So I think this one is very good. Shiva Textian is again a textile name. Now, if you've been a follower of the Stocks to Watch series, you know that I've been talking about pharma and textile names in the mid cap, small cap space, which have done exceedingly well. We've seen phase 3. We've seen this one. We've seen Nitin Spinners breaking out of the base today. So there are a lot of textile names that are doing really, really good. So Shiva Textian is another name that I'm going to be watching out for. And the next one is Sale and Exploration. Now, oil exploration, I think, is going to be the next railways, or probably you can say the next PSU theme, because I think oil exploration is a very, very strong theme. And I think the next month or maybe the next 2 months, oil exploration themes, Sale and Exploration, ONGC, I think we've got GAIL, we've got Oil India, and I think we'll get a lot of other, petrochemical and oil exploration names. So do keep it on the radar. So Sale and Exploration remains to be one of my top bets that I will be looking for. Now, from an entry perspective, this one has moved today, so it's going to be a little tough, little tricky to kind of enter. The trade idea that I'm going to be planning out on this one is if I get an entry somewhere over here, I'm okay to give a wider stop, no problems at all, maybe a 7-8% stop. But I think this stock can probably move 30-40% from here. So I think if you go to the weekly chart of Sale and Explorations, I'll just show you the weekly chart. So this has been near an all-time high. Stock as, creating a weekly base. And I think this is a, 25-26% move. Expecting from this name, I don't really think that's going to be a big problem. So I think that's what's my trade area would be. Again, this is not a financial advice, so do your own due diligence. I am a SEBI registered research analyst, but this is not an advice. Next up is from the paint space, which is Sirca Paints. Now, I am bullish on the paint theme. Crude oil is down. And we have seen, chemical prices also stabilize. I think Sirca Paints, we've got Kansai Nerolac, we've got Asian Paints, we've got Camo Paints, we've got Indigo Paints. So just keep a track on all of these paint stocks. But Sirca Paints looks perfect from a structural perspective. Next one, another mid-cap name is Aspinwall, transportation space, from the transportation space. This is also doing really good. Now, we've got TVS Supply Chain and Freight Solutions, and I think there are a bunch of other transport and freight names which are looking good. This one has a very nice base, so I'll be interested in this one. We've got a pharma name over here, which is Abot India, coming out of a very large, very wide base. Today, the stock was up 4%. I'm not really interested to trade this one because I think I've missed the move. But, from an intraday perspective or maybe from a momentum trading perspective, do keep this on your radar. Next, we have got Gujarat Apollo Industries. Now, this is also coming out of a nice base. This is still, waiting to kind of move. Very low liquidity. So, I can't really trade this because of my size that I trade with. I think this one's not really going to have a lot of action. But from a chart and from a structural perspective, this looks fantastic. Now, probably one of my favorite names from the entire list is Pritish Nandi Communication, or PNC. Now, this one looks absolutely fantastic, contracting around the EMAs, made a nice base, volume dry up, you name it, and this stock has it. So, PNC, do keep this on your radar. One disclaimer, I already have an existing position in British Nadi Communication, and hence this is not an advice. So, please do your due diligence. Next up, we've got Everest Industries, which is again coming out of a nice tight base. So, I like this one as well. We've got Nava. This is a little extended, but if you look at it on the hourly, this is coming out of this nice tight base. So for momentum traders, for intraday traders, I think Nava could be a good one to keep a watch out on. ChemFab is another, specialty chemical name trying to come out of the base. The only problem is this supply that I've marked, but all in all, other things, that's fine. Gulf Oil Lubricants is another name, just like Oil India, just pulling back to the EMA, trying to move beyond this base. So this one is also interesting. NTPC, very tight base that stock has created. It has absorbed all the supply possible. NTPC is going to be an interesting one. Banaras Beads, another consumer specialty name, which is trying to come out of this base. This supply is a problem, but I think the structure overall is very nice. Do keep a watch out on this one as well. Pfizer, another pharma giant coming in. Very, very nice, very, very big base. Now, we've seen what has happened with these big bases in Godfrey Phillips and a lot of other names, like, non-pharma names also. The base is nice. Let's see how this one performs. IGL is another name which is waiting for like a multi-month, multi-week kind of a breakout. Lots of supply overhead, and that's the reason I'm not really saying this is my favorite, but I think the theme is nice. The contraction is good, so do keep this on your radar as well. IOC, Indian Oil Corporation, now post ONGC's big run, I think IOC is another one which is going to be on your watch list. Windfall taxes have been reduced. I think that's the news that came in around 6 p.m. today. I'm not really sure because I didn't really focus a lot on that because I don't really track OMC stocks, oil marketing companies. But I think this one could be in action tomorrow. Next up, we've got another specialty chemical name, GFCL, Gujarat Torochem. I think it could come out of this base and do really nice things. We've got FSL, another IT name probably trying to continue its up move. Hero MotoCorp, nice tight basing happening. I think one of the FNO stocks that I will be keeping a track on. But by the way, NTPC is from the FNO space. Hero MotoCorp is from the FNO space. ABOT India is also from the FNO space. IGL is from the FNO space. FSL is not from the FNO space. And then we've got, so I'm just trying to name them because, and Pidilite coming up next. So there are a bunch of FNO names in this list, by the way. Life Insurance Corporation of India, wonderful base. I think this one is ready to make a big explosion. And I think with budget coming in, I think we could see some, respite for insurance companies also. So I think this could be like a double whammy for this one. Tata Motors and Tata Motors DVR, both I've currently had Tata Motors on my watch list. I think coming out of the base, we've seen Hero MotoCorp. Auto companies are doing well. So I think this one is going to be an interesting one to watch out for. Pidilite. Very, very fantastic structure. Very nice name. Has got good quarterly. The quarterly uptick has again started coming into this FMCG giant. So I think this is also from the FNO space. I will be watching this out. Very interesting name is Balaji Amines. Specialty chemical name again. So see, chemicals, textiles, it's all going round and round, and FMCG. So I think these are very, very interesting. I think this base is fantastic. If you want to create a position in Balaji Mines, that's the right time. So this is also very interesting. 1 point, again, pretty average structure, but this is coming out of the base near the moving averages. So I like this. Indian Hotels reacting from a very small little order block. Not a big fan of hotel stocks right now, but do, hotels and, recreational, amusement parks, Wonderla, etc. I'm not really into them right now, but this could be an interesting one. Next up, we've got Max Estates, another stock looking very good on the smaller time frame. So do keep this on your radar as well. This is Max Estates. Bajaj Holdings, another name which is probably ready for like another continuation play. This is a little extended, so stay away if you don't get the right price. Tata Consumer Products, another FMCG name which I feel could start outperforming. A disclaimer, I am holding futures of Tata Consumer Products on the long side. So, do your own due diligence before you take any position or you create any position. I feel this base could break out really nicely. The stock has been creating a very large VCP on a larger time frame. So I think this one is very interesting and I will keep this on my watch list because I already have a position. That's the disclaimer. Procter & Gamble, a very nice base, not ready to break out yet. It did have like a big rejection today, but I think I'll wait for another couple of days to kind of set my hands on this one. Next up, we've got EIFFL, which is Euro Fresh Foods, a very illiquid name but about to break out. Zaggle is another name which is about to break out of a long tight base. Keep this on your radar. Another specialty chemical name contracting into a tight range. SRF, not very good because it's not contracting near the highs, but I think Pidilite from the Pidilite Balaji Mines, both of them are much better than this one, and even GFCL. So next one, we've got Apollo Tires breaking out of this base, another auto ancillary name. ABFRL, Aditya Birla Fashion. I think this one, after the restructuring and the and the demerger talks that started, I think this one is preparing for a bigger move. The structure is not A+ for me right now because of the extended move, but I will just keep this on my radar. Indigo is another name which is doing really nice stuff, earnings expansion, and I think the base is nice. Another FNO name. I would keep this on my watch list for tomorrow. Delta Corp, it's consolidating in a nice tight range, so this entire period is a good area of consolidation, so I would just wait for some more tightness in Delta Corp, and I think this is bound to do a bounce back. PSB or Punjab and Sindh Bank is trying to come out of this base. I mentioned to you in the start that Bank Nifty and PSU banks is something that I feel there's something cooking. It's not there yet, but I think there is a lot that can happen. Gas Authority of India Limited, after NTPC, NHPC, I think this had to be here. So in GAIL India, breaking out of this range, really nice. Yes Bank, we spoke about Yes Bank over here, broke out, and now Yes Bank is prepared for another up move. So all Yes Bank shareholders, you got a good news. Bank of India, another name which is contracting nicely near these areas post shakeout. So PSU banks have really underperformed post the election day fall, because you see they've not even recovered the prices at which they were on 4th June. And if you compare it with any other stock, like let's say if I even pick up GAIL, they've started trading higher. If I talk about Delta Corp, just look at this, right? 4th June, and look at where they're trading. So I think there's some activity left in PSU banks. NHPC, again, trying to break out. And you can see this common pattern that a lot of PSU banks are kind of coming out of these breakout bases, coincidentally near the budget. So I think there's a lot of action over there as well. Union Bank of India is another name trading near the demand. I think the lowest, risk, or I would say the highest reward to risk ratio exists in Union Bank of India. So amongst PSU banks, I think Union Bank is going to be a good bet. Kalyan Jewellers, very, very nice action, very strong move, but it's a little extended. I don't really like to participate in these extended names, but I think if it starts contracting a little tighter, I would be interested. United Spirits, a very, very interesting name, and this stock is due for a big move, and the consolidation is about to end. Stock is coming out of the base, so do keep this one on your radar. Kansai Nerolac, another paint stock, just like Sirca Paints, as I mentioned, it's coming out of a nice tight base. Let's see how this one performs. This has been an underperformer, so I would really like to stay away from this, but it's looking good. Nathan Spinner is another textile name coming out of the base. We've already spoken about a lot of textile stocks, so I think this one is also something that I would like to play, but again, a little extended because the stock has moved. Sri Digvijay Cement coming out of this very nice base. I think cement stocks are also set. We've seen India Cements trade near highs. We've seen Orient Cement. We've seen, I think, even JK. So I think cement stocks have had good action. But Sri Digvijay Cement looks absolutely fantastic. So do not miss this one if you're trying to play cement. I think this is very, very good. Traxon, I think this is one IPO name, recent IPO name, which I really like. I think it's trading near an important area of demand. 93 with like a 86-ish SL could give you a very, very big upside. So I think this is another name that I'll be tracking, and I like this, right? The volume dry up, I really, really like this. Next up, we've got PCBL, which is again coming out of a nice tight base, another specialty chemical name. TVS Supply Chain Solutions, I spoke to you about, Shreyas Logistics in the previous episodes. And I also spoke about another, transportation name. I think I forgot the name, but I think that's also one name that I'll be playing. Flare is another stock which is post-breakout, just, retesting kind of stuff, kind of trying to react on moving averages. We've seen this happen in a lot of stocks which kind of come down, base over base over base, comes back to the EMA and then starts higher. This is also interesting. And then last but not the least, Muthoot Microfinance, which is about to create a post-IPO base, and I think there's going to be strong action in this one. Look at this on the weekly. This is a no-brainer. I think this is also very strong. So all of these stocks are there on my watch list, lots of names. And I've already told you my favorite ones, and I think there's going to be a lot of action in FNO, non-FNO stocks. So enjoy, and I wish you a very, very good, day of trade tomorrow and the next week. Do drop in a comment if you like these, like this analysis, and comment down below which one of these you feel could be the biggest outperformer tomorrow. And do drop in a like and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye-bye, and good night.